All right, Libra, welcome to your November of 2015 Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Sidereal, so if you're new to this type of astrology, do check the description down below because your sign might very well be different. And Libras, what I'm going to start doing in these monthlies is instead of talking about all the minor aspects, I'm just going to talk about the house changes for the planet. So when a planet changes house, and also the new moon, the full moon, and the major aspects that are taking place this month. That way it's less convoluted. If you do want more information on the specific aspects, do check your weeklies, because in those I'll go into the minor aspects of things. So Libra, let's go and have a look. We've got a nice conjunction between your ruler Venus and Mars here right at the beginning of the month. It's not the first time this has happened, actually. Venus has already gone retrograde over this position, but it's very motivating, actually. Your ruler, any ruler over Mars is about drive, motivation, ambition, that kind of thing. But what's so interesting about it is that when both planets conjoin, they go into the constellation of Virgo, almost at that exact same time. So the key here is that Virgo is your 12th house. This is the house of rest. It's the house of spirituality, of behind-the-scenes activities, going with the flow, meditation, all of that stuff. And there's already been a lot of energy here, actually, with this whole last new moon taking place here. The sun's been here, Mercury's been here. But now your ruler going in here emphasizes that a little bit more on a personal level. So it's a really good time for the next month, month and a half to get that alone time, get that meditative time, because there are a lot of things shaping up for you here this month and beyond in your first house with the sun and the new moon. But it is signifying that it is the season for that rest and spiritual time and connection there. But I think you're going to be motivated to do that anyways. There's a lot of drive, a lot of ambition to maybe work behind the scenes or whatever. And I think you can enjoy that quite a bit too with your ruler here. So that's right from the 1st to the 4th, this conjunction. Then on the 5th, the sun goes into Libra. For those of you watching for your sun sign, happy birthday. You have your birthday here this month. Actually, I guess you all will if you're watching this for your sun sign. But the sun shifting into the first house is all about the self-expression, the expression of self. And it's followed by Mercury here on the 10th. And there's a lot of focus on your drives, your ambitions, your goals in life, your self-image, and all of that can be a source of energy for you. So it's a good time to get exercise. It's a good time to get the body moving, to pursue your things, your intentions, set goals, all of that, because that's what the first house represents. The sun is saying you can gain energy here from that. I think you naturally will be, and I think you'll be naturally thinking about these things as well. Turning that into something practical can really go a long ways. Then on the 11th, you have this new moon, and this new moon is going to be starting new beginnings for you in regards to yourself. So it's a great time to set intentions. It's probably the most important new moon of all of the new moons, is the ones that are in the first house. So in about 6 months, and even in the next couple weeks, it's a culminating point of the intentions that you do set. So sit with it early, this middle part of the month around the 11th. It's still kind of this time of reflection, but as the month unfolds, putting energy into that, I think there's a lot you're learning about the self, a lot you might be communicating or expressing, and through that process, it's unfolding naturally, but it's a good time to put that energy into it, especially when it's on a physical level, which is like the body. So that's the 11th. Now, another thing I want to say about this beginning of the month is that Jupiter is opposing up to Chiron, which is suggesting that there has been and will continue to be expansion and possibilities to do the group thing or the organizational thing, or network or connect to people, or follow your wishes, your hopes, your dreams, things like that. That's all seen from the 11th house. So all of that's expanding, and maybe even your income you get from your career, which is nice. All of that's expanding, and there is a healing when Jupiter opposes up to Chiron, and the healing can be very rejuvenating, actually. So from about the 8th to the 9th, 10th onward, like that, there is a sort of rejuvenation. So as I continue to advise, and I think especially this early part of the month, expand on that level, on that 11th house. Connect, meet, because I think you'll just find that very healing, very rejuvenating, and there can, as there has been, continue to be opportunities there as well. So that's the 1st to the 8th, and then the 11th, okay, we have that new moon. So now the second half of the month, things are a little bit different. We have on the 18th onward, Neptune goes station direct. And right when Neptune goes station direct on the 18th, it just so happens that Saturn goes into the orb of this square. So we have a square from Saturn and Neptune. Saturn squaring Neptune all the way into December. So there is this uncertainty. There is this unknown about the future. And this is probably relating to the material aspects of life, your finances, or the things you value in life, which has been Saturn going into that second recently since last October. But it's a time for you to really work hard at that. Set those solid foundations so you do have a greater sense of material security. You have a greater sense of achieving your values in life, which in turn turns to a healthier sense of self-esteem and accomplishment and things like that. But if you're feeling the uncertainty, which is very likely in general, we all will be in general, in terms of the future and what you're building in life, the more willing we are to go with the flow, be adaptive, and listen to our intuition in the process, then it makes it that much more easy and just that much more constructive. But it is a time of working hard in regards to those second house things regardless, and the key will be with the uncertainty and maybe even understanding too, the importance of having that deeper connection to your values, which is Neptune. Is what is it that they're actually providing, or how to go with the flow, how to have more faith and trust when it comes to those things as well. All of that will really help this Saturn. So that's the 18th. The high point will be on the 26th in regards to that. And then on the 21st, we have Mercury going into Scorpio, which is that second house, followed by the Sun on the 24th. So there are things, this is where you're going to have the new moon as well. So there are things shifting into specifically on the daily sphere on this past couple weeks of the month, involving your thinking. I think naturally be thinking about that. Be very disciplined, very grounded. Don't see things worse than how they are. Sometimes I'm saying that to all of you just because it's going to be different for each of you. It depends on your personal chart. But Mercury and Saturn, sometimes we're seeing things very realistically to the point where it becomes too realistic, too dense. See it practically, see it for how it is, make those changes, whatever it is. And set those intentions. And then the Sun here is that you can really gain energy by pursuing and really being grateful for the abundance and the things that you do have in your life on that level. And this is Saturn in the second house. It can be a time of really building a solid nest egg. And there's been a lot of people who are very productive and very disciplined with Saturn transits who accomplish a lot financially when Saturn transits that second house. But you got to take it seriously, obviously, with Saturn. So that's the up until the 24th. Then on the 25th, we have this full moon. And the full moon's in Taurus, which is that 8th house of yours. So while there's a lot of this material stuff unfolding, new beginnings around that, there's also a culmination of the deeper aspects of life. So if you've been working on the past 6 months, anything involving partnerships, involving shared resources, involving debts, releasing yourself from unhealthy attachments, really drawing the line, setting strong boundaries, that kind of thing that's so important when we're dealing with the 8th house. And transformation, all of that, it's a high point, it's a culmination point, and it's going to help you see the depth and the truth, what's really meaningful to you in life in relation to these more material values. And that's a great way to work with it, is to see that we can have material values, but they really become enjoyable, they really become fruitful when we have non-attachment to the whole situation. So that's the 8th house. Scoring up to Neptune is again suggesting the uncertainty about that, but it's all about flow and trust, and then it becomes a very strong, constructive transit. Then on the 28th, we got Chiron going station direct. So if you've been feeling like things have been sort of in the back burner or reflective in regards to your self-expression, creativity, or anything you would consider a creation in your life, begins to move forward with both Neptune and Chiron going direct there in the 5th, which is nice, and a healing, again, a rejuvenation there as well. And then Mercury goes into a Fucus, which is a deeper octave of that second house of yours, because, the material security, the material finances, or, that kind of stuff is something that is deep for you. It's meaningful. It's Scorpio. And if it's not material, which sometimes it isn't with a water sign, it's just whatever your values are. So here your values get deeper. I think you're thinking about them on a deeper level with Mercury and a Fucus. And again, that's just more constructive energy to be utilized towards all of this very stern Saturn constructive energy in that second house. So Libra, have a great month. If you guys have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you all next time.